Welcome back to Dark Heresy. We're all getting through this together. Last time, you joined a bar mitzvah, handed over a prisoner, and did some initial scouting of the fortress of the Blades of Vresh, Fuad's hold. You requested Lane do a soil scan to work out if these theorized tunnels are even real. Night has fallen after your long day of climbing and horse riding, and as you're trying to get some rest, Lothar, you feel something vibrate in your pocket, and it's naturally the Voxcaster, which you set to silent mode, obviously, because you're just being stealthy here.
Not the butt plug that he
Well,
was keeping in his pocket
yeah.
for later.
See, you hear.
This thing has one button. How is there a vibration?
You didn't know how it vibrated. The mysteries of the Omnicyme. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah. Hello, Lothar.
Oh, yes.
Ah, you would not believe how relieved I am to hear your voice. I keep trying, and you've got to stop giving the blower to Torra. He's an absolute nightmare.
Giving's the word I'd use.
Dad.
Shut up! The amount of anxiety he gives me every time he calls me, you would not believe. I'm very old. My heart cannot take it anymore. Well, Lothar, I've got some good news. The scan that you requested has identified 2 tunnel systems. I don't think these are super accurate, as the scan didn't pick up one continuous line, just lots of different sort of ones in a general direction. Imagine a dotted line, and I'm thinking, yeah, that looks kind of close. So, because it's not a coherent line, either the tunnels are changing depth erratically, or there's so much rubble in them that they might as well be impassable. I'm honestly not sure. You'll have to see for yourself. But it looks like there are 2 systems. I've marked them on your mini-map. There's one going up to the north and one trailing down to the south. Both of these theoretically connect with Fuad's hold, but that's, I'm afraid, all I can get from the scan.
That's more than we could get from down here, so thank you.
Amazing. How's it going? What's the current plan? Just between friends. You hear him put his big heavy boots up on the desk.
The current plan is for us to review the 2 routes and see potentially for a way for us to get in here and disrupt what we think we're seeing from over here. All I know is that Torra threw up as soon as he started looking at there, and usually that's a bad sign.
That is. You would not believe the things.
Long boy.
You would not believe the things I've seen Torra eat. If he's puking, something terrible has happened.
I agree. Hold one moment here. Torra, you've got to know you're on the microbead with me right now.
Can I come down off the mountain now?
You're off the mountain. You climbed down.
I don't know why you insisted on staying up there in the first place. We saw Get back down.
Okay.
Gotcha. All right. I'm sorry. It's Torra, Right. So, yes. So that's our plan. Once Torra gets back down here, and I'm hoping he'll sit still long enough for Amelia to make sure that he's all right, then we'll figure out our plan from there.
Perfect. Well, everything's ready to go up here. If you need another airstrike or me just to, I don't know, throw some propaganda leaflets out of a plane, that's also fine.
We're gonna need 4 squads. Make sure one of them's a driller.
Oh, well, rock and stone to the bone, boys. Good night. And Lane hangs up.
Did he just say rock and stone?
No, he didn't.
Rock and stone, or you're not going home.
Yeah, and he's already home because he lives on the Impcrest.
Torra just hears it's like the bongo drums in the background, like the core goes up.
Yeah. So yeah, is that the plan then? Is to have a recce of these tunnels and then see what the crack is, basically?
I think so, because something tells me if it's all blocked up, it might not necessarily be unintentional.
Okay.
So
Lane identified 2 tunnels. So the southern one, I'm going to say you're able to reach probably half a day. You're basically going round a mountain. The northern one, you can get there in the same amount of time. However, if you want to reach it, you're going to have to pass pretty much directly in front of Fuad's hold to do so. Otherwise, you're going to have to go around. What would you like to do?
Well, let's do the easier thing, I think.
Cool.
Exterminatus? That's easier.
Yeah. So how are you guys getting there? Are you taking the car? Are you... What's the plan?
We're stealthing in with our feet.
Cool.
I
Thank
mean,
goodness you left the microbeat on. I
is
mean,
the
I kind
car?
of agree with him too.
He's not. Or I guess whatever. The the car is potentially going to get stolen wherever we leave it. We might as well drive it.
But in driving it, you're going to be a lot more noticeable.
That would be my concern too. If there's a way,
Okay, so where are you gonna hide it?
I don't know. It's your problem to deal with. I'll just give you things. Fucking sort it out.
I don't know why, but the Ever feels really mad right now.
I'm so angry.
I just
I hear the
warp.
overtaking me.
It's a good pain.
What? Is that me?
No.
No.
About War getting mad and shouting at
Sorry,
him.
I thought you were I thought you were yelling because like my mic was like feeding
No,
back or something.
no.
like that. I was like,
No, you're
"Ah."
good.
You made no mistakes, Og. Only I did.
This time.
Yeah.
That's
Watch
the first time
yourself.
Don't worry. There's more podcast
Yeah.
yet for you to make a mistake today.
So yeah, are you hitting the southern one then?
Fine, we can walk, but we better hide this car good.
You can also leave BGZ with the car if you like. It's completely up to you.
BGZ could get fucking towed as well.
Yeah.
I hate the idea that we're going to come back and BGZ is going to be up on cinder blocks.
Yeah.
That's going to do my head in.
They put a clamp around his foot. He's like, oh man.
He's going to float.
I don't know. I mean, like, okay, we do have soldiers ready to go, I believe, from last time too.
Yeah.
We want them to come investigate with us, or we're going to investigate first and then send them in.
Smaller's better when we're doing reconnaissance. So.
Well, we could also send them to the northern one because they can land over there.
Yeah, but they could pass right in front of the thing we saw. Well, we didn't
We
see
can
actually.
make them
I don't know.
land further away where they don't have to go in front of it.
They would be able to land pretty much directly there. Obviously, it depends if you're doing a hot drop or Valkyries or whatever. But yeah.
True. I think let's keep them in reserve. If we were dropping them down, I want them to be doing more than reconnaissance. That's something we can
fine.
do.
Then how about this? We leave BGZ with the truck, but we also give BGZ authorization, if necessary, to call in reinforcements.
Are we leaving the Vox?
Or would like to raise his hand.
Yes, Torra.
No, because call Dad.
The
That's-
Voxcaster.
Yep.
Okay, what if we need to call Dad?
And we go back to BGZ.
What if
Okay.
Wait.
What's
I really
the
wish you didn't do
distances
that in the
here?
microbeat.
BGZ says, I will be fine, I am sure.
Yeah. What's the distance here? Like, will I lose communication with BGZ or not?
Yeah, you're going to be outside of
Okay.
comms range for your microbeats.
What if I leave the spider halfway?
It's not a fucking Wi-Fi router, mate. It doesn't work
if you
like
made
that.
That's
it
the
that
next
way.
attachment coming to it.
It's a portable 5G hotspot. Yeah, that's
That would actually
My
make
newest-
it really useful.
yeah, it would.
My newest spider, I call it Lynxus.
Yeah. Oh dear.
I don't know. I'm just thinking in terms of last time we got fucked over leaving the car.
I agree, but I feel like Lane is going to answer the phone. Just saying that, Talia, I'm on the phone. Unplug, as a Wi-Fi modem comes out the other side.
Yeah.
If he can't translate binary, like, what kind of Inquisitor is he?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. To remind people at home of the current language situation, so BGG only speaks binary or Technolingua, to use the High Gothic.
AOL, if you will.
Yeah, he understands Low Gothic. He can't speak it. Emilia can speak both. Torra has convinced BGZ that Torra can understand binary but cannot speak it. Which means that sometimes BGZ says things to Torra, assuming he understands them, and Torra keeps saying, yes, I completely get you. Just so everyone's on the same page of the kind of language shenanigans these bastards have forced me to
Also,
work
everyone has used the phone except for BGZ.
with.
Are you trying to tell us that it's BGZ's turn to use the Vox?
I just think in terms of like, Lane complaining about, it's never, Lothar just giving it out. And the next thing he gets is BGZ.
Just screaming in binary down the blower.
I mean, whatever. If you guys don't want to be extra cautious, I mean, I trust BGZ is pretty resilient, but any one of us can get caught out alone.
That's true.
Yeah, no, I agree with Amelia. I think we leave the Voxcaster with BGZ, and if we need to, we can make our way back and call him to call Dad.
Yeah, we got each other's backs at the very least if something goes wrong.
Aww.
BGZ doesn't have anything.
Torra goes like this.
He goes
his
like
fingers
what?
underneath. His fingers underneath his chin and lifts him up like
He's
that.
making a big kawaii pose.
Aw. That's
Also,
go ahead.
No, sorry, no, please, Lothar, no.
Oh no! So then
No, please, Lothar.
Oh yeah, no, sorry.
Yeah, Lothar.
I might just cut this out of spite.
That's
I don't know.
understandable.
Yeah.
No, sorry, War. Go ahead.
That's fine.
No, I guess then Lothar's going to take the Vox then back out, show the one button to BGZ, kind of raise an eyebrow, kind of at nobody in particular, and then say, I think you're going to figure this out, and just hand over the Voxcaster.
That's racist, Lothar.
Didn't you just say something about speaking in...
I can't imagine no one on the Ibcrest would be able to translate. I can't be the only one.
Maybe
I don't appreciate Lothar's candor at passing along hurtful stereotypes of robotic people.
BGZ takes the Voxcaster and says, I will guard the vehicle, Ave Omnisci.
Thank you, BGZ.
Thank you, BGC. Torra, you said he sounded like a modem.
Yeah. Me and BGD have had very long, deep, thoughtful conversations in private about topics such as this.
BGZ nods very slowly and thoughtfully to you, Torra. There is a bond between you, a warrior's bond, which none can understand.
All the arm wrestling.
Arm wrestling.
Least of all each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, while we're here, Amy, can you boop scan me or something? I don't feel good.
Yeah.
Give me
Take a look.
Give me a Medicaid roll.
What do I have in terms of tools? You know, like do I actually scan or whatnot?
Yeah,
like,
you can do basic. So you can do like basic diagnoses. But
cancer.
Diagnosis will still be medicine, right?
Yeah.
Medicaid.
Yeah. Pretty much anything medicine or surgery basis is going to have a penalty here because you're literally in the desert with just the tools you've got. And Torra ain't helping.
Well, no. So my question, so this is where like I'm not actually performing medicine yet. So would my Medicaid Mechadendrite would add a +10, but I wouldn't necessarily get the first aid bonus.
Yeah, I think that's only for like surgery and shit. If you want to amputate Torra's legs, that's fine. But for now,
got cancer. But I'm born in August.
Anyway, you're saying minus what? First off,
I'll give you a -10 because you're in the desert.
Equal.
Lovely. Okay, Amelia. As you're scanning, you kind of do, your basic radiation stuff, all this kind of thing. You just go through various things. There is a series of spores that are inside his stomach by the looks of it.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. I
didn't think he actually ate it.
Yeah. Well, he didn't.
Vomited up spores on top of the mountaintop as well.
He ate a delicious Fuddruck Shuck Shake, if you remember, non-gelatinous. Handed
non-gelatinous, homogenized
exactly
Shuck Shake.
Handed over to him by Fuddruck himself, proprietor of Fuddruck's Burger Shack.
Right. Okay. So, how do we clear him out?
Probably need some medicine, I guess, like antibiotics, antifungals.
Antifungal medicine.
You need some antifungal medicine. ivermectin.
Yeah,
It's all coming
yeah.
together.
Shine some UV right up his anus. And it will sort
I
this
mean,
way out.
so this is like, I just have medicine. I
Yeah.
don't know what I actually have
What?
on me.
No, I'm not expecting a full list of future
Yeah.
pharmacies on you.
I've
What I'm going
got
to
it.
say is you need to make a daily medicine check on Torra, or the puking will continue.
Okay,
It will,
so
and once
Until
does
morale
this
until
one
morale
count, or do I
improves.
need to make another one?
I'm going to say this one counts. Once you're back on the Ipcrest, I'm going to say with some heat, you're in the infirmary. They've got the full pharmacy there. But for now, I think all you're able to do is just to alleviate the symptoms and give him some kind of anti-nausea stuff. But yeah, doesn't look good, Torra.
No, you got
Just some
spore
tough
belly.
actin, it'll be fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Wait, does that mean I'm going to turn into an orc?
Good news, Torra. They're going to name a disease after you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just say you better take your medicine, or
Yeah.
who knows what might happen.
Can you pretend to do it with the spoon?
But you
Let's
want
say a spoon
sugar to
full
help
of
the medicine go
makes
down?
the beating go down, makes the beating.
I don't think I have sugar. I've got
I just
a
pretend
paralyzing
I don't
agent.
care. Oh, even better. You telling me you're gonna give me ivermectin and ketamine? Oh man.
Whatever you give Torra in whatever form, I'm going to say you're more than capable.
I don't
of
need
doing
to paralyze. That sounds bad.
Yeah. It could be some pills that you produce. It could be, I don't know, something you fucking do a weird admech thing and you produce a spoon with some cowpole
I mean,
on it. I don't
I
know.
just assume I carry a
Yeah.
general this or that. This is not. If it's something very specific, then I can understand you saying I need something specific.
You give him some some stop your belly hurting.
Some Tylenol.
Some Tylenol.
A belly rub.
Yeah.
Pepto-Bismol.
You say, there, my little baby boy. I hope you're okay. And he is with that wonderful Medicaid roll.
BGZ gives you a kiss. Good night.
It's just he presses the helmet up against your belly. Yeah.
It's more of a kiss and more of just like knocking you
Yeah.
unconscious.
But
That's how
hey,
BGC deals with.
you're feeling better. That's the main thing.
Alright.
Or at least not feeling better, but you ain't feeling any worse. And that's medicine. Cool. So it's nighttime. Are you guys going to head out under cover of night? Oh, what's happening to Horse Heresy? Is he coming with?
That's a good question, actually.
You should have just left him with the car.
Yeah.
Just the image of Lothar tossing the keys to a horse.
Well, leave him with BGZ in the car, because that'll be an interesting cutaway when we're inevitably in trouble in the tunnels, and we cut back to BGZ trying to tame and feed a horse.
Yeah.
What would cause more concern for Lane? He hears the phone ring, he picks it up, and he hears, but instead this time he picks up the phone and goes,
"Oh,
how did you
fuck! No, I want to leave Horse Heresy here."
He can hear both. He can hear the modem and then it's in the background.
I thought his name was Horse Lupercal. We keep switching it to Horse.
It depends.
That's fair.
Horse Heresy, Horse
His original
Lupercal.
name was Horse Lupercal.
That is true. We made the art of it.
The Horse Messiah.
Oh, sorry. Well,
that's when he gets augmented.
I think the art as the physical podcast was art as well, Og. But you made the fine art, if you want to get technical.
You posted it on 4chan to get all the good boy points.
That is correct, baby. Speaking of good boy points, where are we going? So, Horse Heresy staying with the 2004 Honda Accord.
Horse Heresy staying there because I find the image of BGZ somehow teaching the horse to fire the 50 cal and then come to our rescue later is amazing in my head. Yeah. So yes, horse.
The horse is gonna be towing the car.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, lovely.
Fine.
Okay, so Horse Heresy and BGZ are gonna stay with the Voxcaster. That's a decision you have made, and you guys head out to the southern
We're leaving some food and water for the horse.
Oh, good. You guys haven't
just in
mentioned
case,
feeding the
just
horse.
in case. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you. Oh, you didn't mention that.
Didn't mention it. And yeah, I've actually got a huge spreadsheet of the horse's macro levels, and
I
you
don't want the
guys.
horse to die because it's starved to death.
He's an NPC. You got to feed him. Other than BGC. So yeah, I think you walk for, I'm going to say 3 hours. It's quite lonely here without the comforting voice of BGC and Horse Heresy behind you. But
Torra will sing a song to keep everyone up.
lovely. I think, could I get an awareness test from all of you, please? As a general, we're walking south to the location that Lane's marked, and we're seeing.
I want to pass that. Fuck
Perfect. Brilliant, Amelia. You hear in the distance.
Well, you said from everybody.
Oh yeah, but you passed it first. I was going to do it for
Okay.
whoever passed it. That's
Whoever's
fine.
fastest wins.
Whoever's fastest. You hear it first because you're closer, and that's how sound travels. You hear, I'm going to say, 2 male voices talking in the distance, in the direction you were heading. Looking at your map, you were probably about 200 meters away. You can't tell specifically what they're talking about, but it doesn't seem to be anything. It's just
I'm
sort
not
of
aware
general.
of their position. Well, visually, I can't see them.
No. I'm going to say it's too rocky, or it's around the corner. It's dark, but you can hear something in the distance.
Well, I'd like to switch on my thermal scanner.
Yeah, baby. And yeah, I'm going to say with that awareness test, then with your thermal scanner, yeah, I think in the distance you see 2 heat signatures of dudes standing in this desert.
Alright, so I'll mention, obviously Torra's hearing them as well, no problem.
Yeah.
But we're going to point out exactly where they are. What are we hearing, or is just we're vaguely hearing?
You're hearing just that kind of thing in the distance. They're sounding like Sims this far out.
Wow, wow, wee, wow.
Wow, wow, wee, wow.
So yeah, just okay. Like I can even highlight them with the little.
Yeah, all of you actually see them pop up.
So just like let's avoid them for now until we know more.
Cool. You continue going closer then, I suppose.
Closer, but
Yeah.
obviously keeping ourselves hidden.
It
Torra's
seems
going to belly crawl underneath.
lovely. So as you
Same
get
feeling there.
awesome, as you get closer, it looks like in the moonlight, which is now emerged from behind a cloud, these 2 look like the blades of Resh, and they are standing there, laslocks resting over their shoulders. One of them is smoking, and they are by what appears to be the entrance of some kind of cave.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. Are they directly in our way? Sounds like it. Now we're not close enough to be overheard if we whisper. I assume we're not that close.
No.
Well, you 2 are better at stealth than I am. Can we take them out silently?
Torra
Probably
pulls out his
preferable.
sword.
Nice.
Actually, he probably pulls out Little Scythe Junior rather
Yeah.
than a sword.
Puts a sword away, gets out his other stolen weapon, and lovely.
Oh,
Actually-
yeah, he does. He pulls out both his stolen weapons. He pulls out Shockmaw and
Yeah.
the scythe.
And
Okay,
the
shark
squat
ball's
gun
not-
that he's stolen. He's
as
stolen.
good as a knife or a sword.
Well, but if we take prisoner and then kill.
That could work.
As long as they're silent, I don't want more coming out of the cave.
Oh, yeah, that's true. And he puts it down and he pulls out his other knife.
What's Lothar doing?
Lothar's probably going to be taking out the long last and trying to get a good beat on at least one of the guys, saying, look, Torra, if you can get in and capture one of them, I could take out the other.
Okay.
Cool. What's the plan then?
Torra is going to kind of sneak up belly first, and we're going to wait for a moment where they're both like where the guards, their hands kind of like they're chatting away, talking through the night. Like one of their fingers brushes against the other one's hands, and they both kind of like look wistfully up at the sky, away from each other, acknowledging but trying not to acknowledge this one moment. And then Lothar's going to shoot one of them in the back of the head, and I'm going to grab the other one with my like mouth over his hand, hand over his mouth with a knife there, going shh.
I like that plan. Instead of the head, I'm going to be trying to shoot through the throat.
So, whilst Lothar doesn't need to make a stealth roll here, I guess Amelia, you could be back spotting for them as well with your cyber eyes.
Well, I haven't swapped it out, so I should still be giving them ballistics bonus.
Yep, works for me. So yes, that's instead of you doing an action, but that's fine.
Where do I find that on my sheet?
Oh, that's a question. Should be
there
somewhere.
It is. There,
yeah.
I can do +3 penetration, +10 ballistics, or scan to reveal abilities.
Yeah.
Ballistics helps critter here, but
absolutely. And these guys,
they're not super armored. I don't think they need. Yeah, so I'll still.
Yeah, I think ballistics probably best here.
Maybe. Also, I don't know if I can do that with me, because I think I'm one of the only characters who basically was like, yeah, don't modify me. So is that a thing you can do for me, or?
What do you mean?
Because I thought you did that into everybody's eyes and stuff, right?
You literally have a...
Oh, no, it's on your scope, isn't it?
Is it?
No. You have a
Oh, my bad.
An eyepiece to go over your eye, not in your eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a scouter. Okay.
It's a heads-up display.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've got Google Glass. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. And
that's how I'm not literally modifying your actions or anything. It's all the calculations are made, and it's showing like if you aim just slightly here to help you count for the wind or whatever. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'm glad you brought that up now after we had a very combat-heavy session a little while ago, which used that bonus a lot. But that's fine. Torra, could you make a stealth roll, please, whilst I make a homoeroticism roll?
Do I get any bonuses for being stealthy?
How many
it's nighttime.
Are waiting for them?
I'll give you a +10 because it's nighttime, and you stopped singing. So...
That's right. I love this. Walking for 3 hours.
That is an 83, a target of 60. Fate it. Reroll that, baby. That's an 88.
Jesus.
Okay.
Roll for perils of the warp.
Yeah. Cool. Torra, I think you were crawling on your little belly, and you get. I'm going to say your big belly, and I think you get within. I'm going to say 10 meters of these guys, and they have not noticed you. And then, whilst Amelia's medicine is useful, I think there is still a lingering bit of vomit in you, and you double over and retch. And when
That's what I was hoping for.
when you look up, they are both looking at you. One of them has dropped his cigarette.
Torra would like
on his knees, like.
Torra would like to launch himself at the guy and try to slash him, and pick up the cigarette midair.
Right, you'll
launch him.
I'm gonna say you could
like quite a distance away.
Yeah, like you're 10 meters away. There's gonna be a hell of a dash.
Yes, but can I argue that there's an innate Australian racial bonus that he can't let the cigarette go to waste and land and hit the sand, so it's causing him to move.
I completely sympathise with you. You could spend this turn dashing at him, but you failed a stealth roll. I think he's going to be able to do something. Lothar, what's going on? Or sorry, Torra, go on.
Oh no, I was about to say Torra is going to then whip out his the silence suppressed one of his guns. I can't remember which one it is. The silencer with revolver with silencer to activate safety.
Cool.
And just pop a shot.
Cool.
At the one on the right.
As that is a that would usually be like drawing it would be an action, but because it's got the activated safety features, that's the reason I brought it up. You whip it out and your finger doesn't rest on the trigger guard. It ain't got one, baby. And make that shot for me, please.
Am I allowed? Is it a no aim, or am I allowed to take a half aim?
Half aim, because drawing it doesn't count, so you've got a half aim and then a shot.
Point blank?
No, short range. Point blank is basically melee. Let's see what you get.
And I get what, 10 for?
10 for
what is it? I get
Amelia's
10
turn?
for ballistics.
Oh yes, because of Amelia. Yeah,
Yeah, but I get -5 because I'm dual wielding.
that is true.
So it's just extra 5 overall.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. That is a lovely hit. Could you roll damage for me, please?
And what do expanders do again?
Expanders. Oh, does this have expanding rounds?
I think. Yeah.
Expanding rounds are hollow points.
Yeah.
So there's dum-dum bullets, which are I believe the anti-armor ones, and expanders are hollow points. They go inside and get wider.
Okay. Yep.
Wow. Okay. What did you roll then? You rolled a 25, which would be a 52. Yeah, this hits him, I think, square in the chest. I think there is a burst of blood from the wound. It's probably hit him, I think, just below his heart. He kind of looks at you, shocked, looks across at the other blade, and then just falls down face first, dead. Lothar, you need to do something, or this other guy's gonna do something.
As he makes that look, he's gonna see his partner's throat blow out from under him. So I'm gonna try and make a shot there.
Let's see. I'm the one rolling for it. So Fillet, standard range because you're a sniper. This is rate of fire would be standard or semi-auto. I guess it'd be standard. Wouldn't
it would be whatever one gives me the bonus.
Standard.
No,
then.
it'd be standard because I'm taking one shot.
Awesome. That's a hit with 8 degrees of success. Fucking hell. Again, it's not popped up for me, but
the damage. Well, it's because it's got too much.
Oh, hang on. No, if I've moved the box. That's 11. Yeah, I think, as you rightly say, this shot rings out and his throat is just gone. His head is barely still connected to his body, but he collapses down next to his friend or perhaps his lover. So you don't see anything from inside this cave. It's dark. It's a cave. It's nighttime. But these two men are dead in front of you. What would you like to do?
Despite his retching or whatever, I guess my focus is going to be on the cave entrance, just in case. And then kind of scanning around the area a little bit, just to make sure nothing else is coming, heat signatures.
You ain't seeing shit.
That's fine, but that's what I'm doing.
Yes, cool.
Focused on, at least.
Lovely.
Lothar's then going to be not disassembling, but he's going to be getting the long las back on his shoulder and start trudging over to the cave.
Lovely. Torra, I imagine you clean up the puke and.
Yeah. Well, Torra's gonna. It's like a cat. He's just gonna kick litter over the top.
He's going to eat it.
Oh dear. But yeah, our 3 intrepid heroes all meet up. Some with a little bit of puke on them. Yeah, you all stand at the entrance of the cave. There ye enter.
I'm assuming it's at least 2-person wide.
I'm actually going to say it's wider than that. Yeah, I'm going to say it's like 3-person wide. Like it.
Oh, nice.
Now that you're closer, it looks like the entrance of it is a cave, but the actual inside tunnel seems to be chiseled. Like the walls are pretty square.
Oh.
Right, like yeah. If we go, we're looking in. It's actually looks like a tunnel system, not a natural cave.
The outside of it is definitely a cave. The inside of it, definitely a tunnel.
So just for this sake of things, I'm thinking doing the sonar vision.
Okay.
So that I can get a view of everything ahead.
Okay. I'm going to say that's going to be of limited use here because of the twists and turns. But yeah, I think you're able to do it as you're going.
It's only one eye that activates, right? So I still have normal vision on top of that.
See, I'm going to say, you're able to see a few, maybe 10 meters ahead as you're going, just from this sort of sonar highlighting the walls for you. Yeah, and I guess then you guys walk inside. Strangely, you've gone from the sort of sand to this sort of more solid red soil, and now here it's actually flagstones, but covered in sand after millennia of use. They're worn to a slick shine. As you're walking, you notice something. I'm going to say Lothar, you probably noticed this more than anyone else. In a small hole that's been drilled in the top corner of this wall, the interior wall of this tunnel, there is a small demolition charge.
Ooh.
Imperial Guard standard issue. It has a wire attached to it, which is running deeper into the tunnel.
Whoa, boys, heads up. I'm going to point out the mine to everybody else.
So it's not a
Three
tripwire.
Stooges
It
it.
looks like a detonation wire.
Gotcha. So attached basically, ideally, to blow up the rest of the tunnel so nobody else comes down.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's probably not good. That's my official assessment of that.
Yeah, but if we... Okay, it's not a tripwire, it's somebody else can detonate it remotely.
Yeah, it's a manual. Someone has to press the plunger down.
So if we cut the wire, then...
If we cut the wire, it actually will activate and detonate right here.
What?
If we cut the wire, it will detonate right here. That tension is what's keeping it from detonating right now.
Is it not just like a detonable where an electrical charge running through it will be the one to instigate the firing mechanism?
Lothar's going to look at Amelia.
Investigate.
Yeah. Give me an awareness test, anyone.
Not
No,
a
hang
tech
on.
use?
Give me a. Oh fuck! What would this be? Let's have a look.
Investigate?
Yeah, I kind of think so. Although it's not an investigate skill. We always forget that.
There's no investigate.
Oh.
I think this would probably be
inquiry, but what is inquiry?
inquiries
exactly?
asking questions, unless you want to ask it what type of wire are you.
Yeah, speech was machine spear.
Yeah, fuck it. Give me a tech use test. Plus 20.
Actually.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Could have
Hey,
talked
so
to the bomb.
what's going on there, Grenade?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
You know everything about this detonation charge. You can tell you that it is from the Forge world of Voss. You know everything about this. You could tell you the fucking factory this grenade.
How long ago did it land here from the ship of Vresh?
It is Vresh issue. It is the same age as pretty much everything. This is Vresh demolition charge standard issue. Cable looks like it is actually an electrical charge one. Looking at it, that ain't standard issue. It looks like it's been rigged up recently.
Now the question is, how do we disarm it?
Whatever you want, mate.
Would Lothar have access to this in his Imperial Primer?
As in how to disarm a demolition charge?
To arm and disarm in order to set up traps and things.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to hand that over to Amelia so I don't have to disarm it, because I've had really bad luck with that.
Give me
the bomb squad.
With the demolition, with the Imperial Infantryman's uplifting primer, the finest work of the God Emperor's good press. I'm going to say that, yeah, you retain that plus 20 bonus doing this tech use test to disarm this destination charge.
It was only plus 10.
Yes.
Before.
Well, now it's plus 20.
Now.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically it's broken down exactly how to do it. You do not need any.
Even better.
Even better. Amelia, you have cut this wire like an absolute fucking champ. It is like Hurt Locker. It is amazing. You have done it. Everyone breathes a sigh of relief, but then realised they didn't need to hold that sigh in because it was perfect. And yeah, it's disarmed. Good job.
Now we can rescue this demolition charge and bring it back home.
Yeah.
Sounds
God
like
bless the
Torra.
US, boys.
Torra lights a cigarette in celebration.
And it blows up.
Yeah. And thanks for listening, everyone. So yeah, what would you guys like to do?
Just real quick, I want to
it-
make. So this wasn't a grenade. You said demolition charge.
Demolition charge. Yeah.
I'm just in my mind. Am I thinking C4 here, like kind of thing?
Yeah,
or?
C4. C4 would be
Okay.
closer.
So it's disarmed. It's safe. I'm just
Correct.
gonna pocket it.
Yep. Pop it in your backpack. Cool. You guys
and that was picked up on the sonar, wasn't it?
That was picked up on. Well, yeah.
Well, Critter picked it up, but
Yeah.
whatever. Lothar.
I've been screeching down the corridor here this whole time.
Oh, okay. Sorry, it was Lothar spotted it, not the sonar spotted it.
I'm going to say the sonar's not accurate enough to find like things inside of little divots in the wall and all that kind of thing.
But now that we've seen one charge and how it was inlaid, can we, in future, assuming we'd be able to spot them a bit easier?
Absolutely. And I'm going to say maybe 5 meters ahead of you, you now find a grenade, which is in a similar position in the wall, which has been rigged up in the same way, the wire continuing further in.
I suspect this is. I actually don't know what I suspect this is. This is a grenade, is what I suspect.
It is a grenade. Yes.
Lothar, back me up here.
Yeah, hold on a second. I'm going to flip to the exact page in the primer for grenades. Yep, that's a grenade.
Hey, look, I've got a buddy. He's an expert in this sort of thing. He can come in, give us a good price, and we can maybe come to a deal.
I think I'm all right with that, actually.
I think the spores are in my brain, Amelia.
I didn't realize this was the spores doing this to you.
So, I'm going to be honest with you guys. The more you press on, the more of these explosives you're going to find rigged up.
I was going to say, how often are we going to...
What I will... So, I think, as you press on, you find grenades, you find more of this detonation charge. Each one no more than maybe 5-6 meters away from each other. They're not hidden. They're more drilled into it to have the maximum amount of effect. This is someone who is designing this tunnel to be blown up. If you wish to disarm every single one you find, I'm going to need a tech use test flat, and that's going to represent how well and how many you do. And if you miss any,
we ought to, because otherwise we'll get trapped or blown up.
I kind of agree with that, and it would slow us down, but I think we need to do that because...
tech use plus nothing.
Well, I mean, I still got the primer, right? So...
Yeah, but this is more the amount that you're going to have to... I'm talking like 50 to 100 explosives.
Because I get the tech use bonus from my mechadendrite itself.
Yeah.
But you want, no modifier.
I'm just going to say give it to me flat.
That's fine. Well, I'll re-roll that.
That was a 98, aiming for a 70. Let's see what you get. That's a 96, aiming for a 70. Okay. Interesting.
That's like one of my highest skills. Actually, it is my highest skill, too.
Yeah, and you failed. I feel... I'll tell you what. I'm going to say you feel like you've got all of them. And
okay.
I like that.
I think you walk through this tunnel for about an hour. Could I get an awareness test from everyone, please? I'll roll for you, Lothar.
Thanks.
Just absolutely flatty. Lovely. That's
Torra. Sorry, I closed my character.
Yeah, you fucking failed that one, Lothar.
Can you re-roll for me? Because
but
not for fate, but I get one through my divination thing.
Yeah, divination. Let me have a little look-see. Okay, no, you fail again. Okay, so let's see. So Torra and Amelia, carried by the wind. It's very, very muffled because obviously you're quite far underground now. You think you hear the staccato firing of a heavy stubber.
Oh
no! we got to go back to the car, boys.
Wait, is it coming from forwards in the tunnel? Backwards in the tunnel?
It is coming from somewhere you do not know because it is above you, probably. It doesn't sound like it's coming from inside the tunnel at all. It's too far off. It's literally like so faint on the wind.
I'm kind of worried a little bit about...
Well, was that not the point of giving him the Voxcaster?
Yeah.
Oh no, BGZ's going to be bricked. They're going to put him up for parts. We come back, BGZ's missing his legs and he's on a pair of bricks.
This
that'd be
is
the worst thing that happens
this is
in
where we
living
have to
life.
ask ourselves: do we trust him to be all right or not?
I say we keep going.
All right, fine.
Cool.
I think
Fine,
he's
fine.
resourceful enough. It might not even be him as well.
Yeah, it might be the
Possibly.
other heavy stubber out there. Oh God, someone's shooting him.
Oh no. Cool.
And then I guess we'll keep going.
Cool. Can I get a stealth roll from whoever would like to be stealthy, please, as you're going down this tunnel?
Don't worry, boys. I'll do it.
Perfect. Thank you,
Imagine
Torra.
all of us are.
Well, whoever's leading the party is how I do it. You're all following the same footsteps.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Torra can go first.
Your little sneaky Australian feet. Let's see what you get. That's an 81. Target for 50.
Fate.
Perfect. Give me that reroll. It's 50-50, and you pass. Torra, as you round what feels like the final corner, you find a man who is hunched over, and
Is he also vomiting up spores?
He's not vomiting. He's hunched over, and he is sort of drilling a small hole in the floor here, and he is putting inside very, very tightly some more demolition charges. Cool. He's on the camera. He's putting. Okay, lovely.
On the camera, Og was with his hand over his own mouth,
I'm gonna say.
trying not to inhale his own cigarette smoke up his nose.
I'm gonna say as well. You also notice that this at his feet is a plunger. The plunger, the wires from it are going back the way you just came, and they are going deeper as well. I think, you perfectly sneak up on him. You put your hand over his mouth. What are you doing?
Oh, pulling him. Torres pulling him backwards, like. Just let me put. Torres pulling him backwards, still like hand around throat. So like hand over mouth, and is then like grabbing his shoulder and then twisting backwards like that.
As in, like pulling him down to the floor.
Because he's like hunched over, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, which means his center of gravity is a bit off as he's like
Exactly.
drilling this hole,
So
right?
you basically
so
German
gonna,
suplex this man.
backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You are now on top of him. He is looking at you with fear in his eyes. A big V on his forehead is blazing red in fear.
Little size junior is so like knees. I'm gonna like pin him with the knees as well now, and hold little size junior underneath his throat.
Yep.
And then like nod and like pull his hand back like a little bit.
He has stopped struggling. He is hyperventilating. What would you like to do? I'm going to say he looks.
Get this far?
He looks maybe in his 50s. He's quite weathered.
Come. Hi.
That's dog chat there for those of you at home.
Lothar instinctively perks his head up.
Torra like nods his head to Amelia to go towards the plunger and the explosives.
Lothar's then going to take a las pistol and try and cover the rest of the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I imagine I can cut it here. It'd be safe.
Probably. Give me a tech use test.
But wait, Torra sees her like go from the white cliff. It's like, wait, but if this is the plunger, we can use this to cover our escape if we need to. Like we cut the ones ahead of this because the wires are going both the way we came and the way we're going to, right?
Yep.
If we cut the ones the way we came, but leave the ones up the tunnel, if we need to make like a hot exit through this tunnel, we can then blow up the tunnel behind us.
That's a good call.
It's like, how many of you are there?
I just need to go real quick for.
That's fine. He stares at you, Torra, and says, "There's 3 of us."
In the tunnel.
He gestures outside, the way you came. Sorry, I missed that. You didn't.
Wait. So he gestures the way that we came. That whatever. Oh, yeah, no, and they're already dead.
They're already dead. Yeah.
They're already dead. He says that. Torra sends a light and goes, "Oh, look, good. They're already
We
dead."
got those guys. Yeah. No worries.
Awesome.
It's like,
Do you renounce your sins against the God Emperor of mankind?
I think he slowly nods his head, looking at you.
That's good.
go off into peace. And Torra slashes his throat open.
Cool. Yeah.
Oh.
He gurgles. He seems to thrash on the floor for a bit, as if going for the plunger, but it's too late.
Fuck, that was
Torra
metal.
gets up. Anyone else hungry?
Torra starts walking and kicks the plunger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, God. Lothar's going to say pass on that one as he keeps looking down the tunnel.
Cool. There's more explosives further in.
Yeah, so yeah, I think we would like to set it up so like we like have the plunger like this further point and like cut the wires to all of the ones. I probably should have asked him why he was rigging the tunnel to blow. I guess.
Oh, well, it's a bit late now, isn't it?
Bit late.
Bit late for that law. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Find out soon enough.
Mm-hmm. So what's the plan then?
Yeah,
Continue on?
I guess we continue on a bit.
Lovely. Yeah, I think you find more and more and more explosives which are rigged up here. This tunnel you're in.
Can we actually?
Yeah, go on.
Did he? You said he had a thing of explosive charges with him, right?
Yeah, I'm going to say he's got a small pack of them. It's mostly empty. He's maybe got 2 more in there.
Okay. Torra will pocket those.
Cool. You press onwards. It looks like at points this path that you're on, this tunnel, should have gone in a different direction, but it is caved in. As you get closer and closer to Fuad's hold, it feels like it's getting thinner and thinner, and more sand has poured in over the millennia. Once you get, judging based on your position, maybe 500 meters away from Fuad's hold, the tunnel stops. It is a huge pile of rubble.
Oh, shit.
Oh, so there's no way forward.
Unless you had dedicated drilling stuff, or spent a very long time doing a Great Escape style shifting the dirt thing, it looks like there's no way forward here.
Unless
Does the
we had a lot of
unsettled
demolitions.
No, there's a lot of demolition charges. Does the Earth seem settled? Like it's we continued forward. Our way forward is now 15. Does the unearthed Earth seem recently disturbed, or does it seem to be like this for a long time?
It looks recently.
Oh, okay.
Can we also, with the mini-map bit there, right? Can we corroborate where we are in the path and how thick this goes, basically?
Yeah. I'm going to say you are pretty much underneath the mountain that Torra puked on. Puke Mountain, as it's now going to be called.
Good. Great. Glad we're making our mark on this planet.
No, don't worry. Soon, in 50 years, it'll be Spore Mountain. Spores that Torra has spread.
Spora.
Spora is what they call me in the business.
Spora.
It looks like this has been purposefully demolished, this end of the tunnel.
Fuck.
It looks as though they did it in stages.
Well, Lothar, as we go in the other tunnel.
Well, we did just pick up a bunch of explosives that we could use on here, yeah?
I don't think it would be enough explosives to blast a way through. Also, explosives are very good for making something worse. You, with your guard demolition training, you imagine if you put an explosive here, it would probably clear the wreckage ahead of you, but it would just cause more sand to pour in from above you.
That's a fair point, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, damn it.
Oh, well. Guess we're going back to the car.
There's got to be another way around this, right? Like, I mean...
Well, can't go over it. We can't go around it. Can't go under it. Going on a heretic hunt work.
I love books by Michael Rosen. So, yeah, I mean, it looks like it's been purposefully demolished. So your options are growing limited. What's the plan?
Well, I I guess there's, I guess we are going to have to head back then. Well, at least we know that this tunnel's for the most part set, but if we can find a way to drill through this, then maybe that's what we try and requisition then from Lane.
Potentially.
I mean, it's not in our usual repertoire, but
No.
I've got to imagine he's got, he did say rock and stone earlier, which makes me think that,
yeah.
He buy that cutter from ages ago.
And I will point out that
right.
las cutter was destroyed during the Battle of the Venator Magna because BGZ used it to open a door.
This is true. I don't have it anymore.
Yep. Lane might have drilling equipment, maybe. Just killed him on the Voxcaster, I guess.
But we need the Voxcaster. All right, yeah, I guess it is back to the car. Okay.
Cool.
All right, guys, let's wrap it up then. And, well, I think is it possible for us to take the plunger with us?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I don't want to come back here and find that somebody blew it up.
Yeah,
again.
You unplug it and take the plunger with you.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think
the outlet that's in the wall.
Yeah, I think it's getting close to sunrise now. As you're making your way back to where you came from this morning. Before midnight. It was nighttime. That evening. Yeah. I think from the east, actually, you see horse, which is approaching you at decent gallop. As it gets closer, it looks like it is horse heresy.
Oh, well, that's not good.
Borapul snaps a very quick, smart salute.
As it gets closer, you hear something from the saddlebag. Hello? Hello?
Oh, geez. All right.
Torra runs over.
So does
Lothar.
Lothar.
Saddlebag. No. Torra would like to try to trip Lothar.
Okay. Make a funny prank roll. Make a sleight of hand roll for me, please.
Done.
Sleight of hand is for cahoots and japery.
Do I get a bonus for Lothar running on sand?
I think you should get a deficit because they have short little stubby legs.
I think so. Yeah. I'll give you a plus 10 bonus.
Damn it!
I love the negotiated position of pranking we have. Lovely. I think just as you're about to reach this with your really, really long arms, Lothar, suddenly, you trip, wanker. And Torra reaches into the saddlebag first.
Moshi.
Is that you, Torra?
I hate it.
Yeah, it might be Torra, it might not be Torra. Who's this?
Hang on. No, it's me. You know me, right? This is Torra I'm talking to.
No, but I'm me. It's me, Torra. You can't be me.
Torra, I'm about to fly down there and slap you dry across the jaw. What's going on?
Hi, Lane. How are you?
It's only when he threatened me I realised who it was.
No one talks to me like my mum used to talk to me quite like you.
As he's doing that, I'm hoping to have Lothar hop up on Horse Heresy and start charging out to where it came from.
Okay. Well, it was literally just running in at you. You were quite some distance away from the camp.
That's what I mean. Is trying to get back to camp.
Okay, like you're just going alone on horseback.
Yep.
Cool. You ride out. Yeah. Lane's asked, "What's going on, Torra?"
Well, we killed some guys. We went through one of the tunnels, but they'd already caved it in. The horses turned up with you ring-a-dinging in the saddlebag. So
yeah, I heard a bunch of gunshots and something in binary, and now I'm talking to you. That was 3 hours ago.
Interesting. Well, we definitely haven't lost the second car. I mean, we definitely haven't lost the first car.
Right.
Son of a bitch.
Well, I hope everything's going okay. Let me know if you need help, I suppose.
Torra pulls the phone away from his face. Do we need help yet, guys?
Lothar's already gone.
You're all on the mic.
Lothar's long gone.
Yeah, but fair enough. Okay.
Also, I have fungus in my belly.
Oh,
all right, love you, Dad. Bye.
bye. Thalia comes into Lane's office as he's playing with Newton's crate and says, "I just do not understand some of my thrown agents sometimes, Thalia. It's a nightmare." And yeah, Lothar, you ride hard.
Thalia understand some of the thrown agents.
Yeah.
No, yes, Thalia just repeats it back and goes, some.
Some, yeah. Lothar,
Torra puts the Voxcaster in his pocket.
Perfect. Yeah. I'm going to explain what Lothar sees because he's faster than you guys. Are you riding particularly stealthily, or are you just gunning it across the sand?
Trying to gun it currently, thinking that there's some active combat going on.
Okay. You reach the site of where the camp was, a little way away from where Fuenthold was. You actually see flaming wreckage first. It seems that there has just been a detonation of the your second car, and
God damn it! Insurance isn't going to cover that.
Your supplies are gone. There are hundreds of bullet casings in the sand, and I'm going to say there are 14 dead blades around it. There is no sign of BGC.
I'm still pretty far out of there.
You've got to add him to his tally.
Oh no.
Is it just because I'm too far out from the camp currently, or
you can go and investigate?
Absolutely. And I'm going to over the microbead say some shit went down. If you're still on the horn with Lane, let him know that our camp got attacked.
Lothar. Oh god.
Torra pulls out the phone.
Hello.
Oh, Dad.
Hello.
BGZ is gone. Our camp got attacked. We ain't got no supplies. Just so you should know. All right. Love you. Bye.
I do not understand them, Thalia. They are doing my fucking head in. Lothar,
sorry, you didn't hit the hang up button.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. There we go. Lothar, you get closer, and yeah, this is site of a bloodbath. The bodies of the blades, they've been gunned down with fierce efficiency. None of them took more than 2 shots to kill. As you go over to the Centaur with its now burning hull, you see there is blood dashed up alongside of it, alongside a scratch of the bright red paint that BGC's helmet is in.
Oh no! Okay, sorry. So I'm processing this a little bit.
Yeah. There's no sign of him, other than it looks like his helmet was thrown up against it, but other than that, you're not sure.
Jeez. Okay. Is there anything that's like showing where people may have gone after this?
Yeah, there are tracks which are leading off basically to where you know Fuad's hold is, to the northeast of your current position.
Brilliant.
It doesn't look like they were moving with particular speed.
So there's a chance then that we could meet up with them.
Potentially, this was quite a few hours ago. Lane said 3 hours. They've
Right.
probably reached it by now.
Shoot. All right, I guess I'm gonna get back on the micro and say BGZ's gone. I'm pretty sure they took him.
Torra starts sprinting back.
I'm
What?
starts sprinting
Torra
back.
starts sprinting back.
I'm going to say you guys are able to meet up. Whether this is, you wait here at the camp, Lothar, or whether you pull back a bit. Your supplies are all gone as well.
Well, I guess we don't have the man and fuel anymore.
That's true.
Right now, I think Lothar's probably just going to be sitting there in shock, actually.
Yeah.
And we need to call in the boys there and get inside.
You're damn right we do. All right. Are we grouped back up at this point?
I'm going to say so, yeah.
All right. Okay. We need to be smart about this here, too, though. Amelia, is there anything that you... Wait a minute. Amelia, can you still link up with his head?
Amelia, give me a
Now that
tech
we're
use
not in the
test.
tunnel.
If he's actually alive, I should have access.
He's alive. Just link up with his head.
That's 86, target at 80. You can auto pass it with Fate. Cool.
I can auto pass it and then I'm out.
I think you see something odd, Amelia. Over BGZ's shoulder camera, you get, I think, a strange sight of basically he appears to be, as he looks around, tied to some kind of chair, and the audio has completely cut out. The camera is damaged. It jumps between static every few seconds. The color is completely faded from it. There are numerous members of the Blades here. One of them, I think, whacked him in the helmet with the butt of the laslock, and obviously there's no sound, but you imagine it made quite an entertaining clang noise. But there is one figure in the room who you do not recognize as one of the Blades, and it is a nude man who is wearing a very, very ornate wooden headpiece. He appears to be old. He has a long white beard that's curling around towards his belly button.
Huh.
Ew.
Oh, belly button.
Oh,
you can see their lips.
Still alive.
You can see their lips are moving. You have no idea what's being said. The man in the headpiece doesn't seem to be doing anything. He is standing at the back of the room, his arms crossed, watching.
Oh. I'm still lazy. At least BGZ is alive and he's captured. Inside the hold, we need to break in.
How are you breaking into this fortress?
Carefully. What do we roll for that? What do we roll to break in without any consequences?
It's just a single roll, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just tell Lane to give us the Titan.
Oh yeah. So there's a failed demonology
That was
roll
a
there.
very
Thank you,
good
Torra.
roll.
It was a very good roll, but sadly, yeah, you think there's no demons. Yeah. What is the plan? Like, BGZ doesn't seem to be responding to anything they're saying either.
So we know they have another hydroflak tank.
Mm-hmm.
We have the
Where
scan
was it
showing the
at?
other tunnel.
The hydroflak
It
tank is
was-
positioned basically in a kind of hidden position at the sort of back of the the fortress up on the top parapet, sort of overlooking, a lot of the area.
I think we call everyone down and we go in, guns blazing. I think that's what we have to rescue BGZ.
You have 20 stormtroopers. There are 300 blades.
Aha! That's how we tricked him into telling us how many there are.
I've consistently told you how many there are.
No, I know.
We got it. Yeah, but also, I feel like, what's that? One stormtrooper just needs to kill 20 blades?
Yeah,
yes,
and
that seems reasonable.
Oh, 15 blades.
Yeah.
One stormtrooper just needs to kill 15 blades, not including us.
Yeah, it's a lot of them.
Women aren't allowed
There's
here.
there's a woman in the background of my shot. Get out of here! Get out of here!
Get
No
out of
girls
here,
allowed.
woman.
Yeah. It would be a lot as well. Like, are you planning this as a rescue mission? Are you planning this as a get in, get out, or are you planning on killing all the blades? Like, the stormtroopers are going to need a battle plan. You don't know where he's kept either. You assume he's somewhere in the fortress.
Rescue and clear.
Maybe we need to. Maybe we need to call down some of the blades. We call down some of the stormtroopers with us. Try the other tunnel with some extra fire support on it as well. And if we can get in, maybe we can cause enough damage from the inside that we can then have the other stormtroopers come through the main way as well. And if we can take out the Hydra flak tank, we can have a Valkyrie come down and offer fire support as well. But we know they have missiles. They've taken pot shots.
So like, what's this guy, the Hydra tank thing is on the upper wall, you're saying?
Yeah.
Do we have access to any heavy weapons ourselves?
You've kind of given them all to the scriptorium. Mortars, heavy stubbers, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Did I get that bag of grenades I asked for?
Yeah. Oh no,
you haven't.
No, but you've got your sack of remote charges from the tunnel you've just cleared. You could just leave him.
No, absolutely not.
Torra, you're used to smuggling things up your butt, right?
Correct. Yes. You've read my resume.
Wow. Get some grenades up there, get yourself captured, See multiple. I mean, yeah, go all out. We could ask the scriptorium for help too. But it's that anti-air that makes a lot of our stuff at risk. Well, how close can we get to the anti-air to take it out?
You don't know. Like,
with an appropriate mortar shot or two, we won't have to.
That is true. Like, if you just shelled the shit out of it, they probably wouldn't be able to get into it.
But also, we don't know where BGZ is within the build, so we can't. If we start mortaring the shit out of it, we potentially risk. Like, BGZ is a tough cookie, but is BGZ going to eat a mortar shot to the side of their head?
Well, probably that depends on where the mortar's landing exactly, but.
Well, I mean, here's the thought too, right? What we could do is, I like the idea of shelling the shit out of things.
How about there's the three of us, we just walk to the front door and force the storyteller to come up with something.
I can come up with something very quick, and it's in the form of 556 ammunition very quickly coming at you.
Hey, he's not going to kill us.
I've already killed John. I'll do it again.
You can't do it again. He's already dead.
I'm not going to kill you. The blades will kill you. There's a difference there.
That's how I sleep at night.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the idea being is that if we shell them enough, they're going to have to come out of where they're at. They've got trench systems and things like that. Sure, that'll protect them. But if we're hitting assets that they then need to silence a mortar with, By coming out to us, we can then set up ambushes along the way, having their numbers cut against them.
They do seem to have their own artillery as well. However, it seems that you've got more than they do at this point.
Very much so. And
like Torra saw a couple of mortars and a few heavy stubbers up on the top. It seems that most of their military hardware in terms of man-portable stuff was at Quartz Crossing, which is now in the possession of the good people of Skystera's Scriptorium.
Right, which if we can inspire them to take back their lands for themselves,
that could work.
And at the same time, what we then do is I can place a couple of well-placed shots in the tips of some of these mortars here and blow out their munitions over on, the blade side of things here and cause a ruckus. And
we've still got the fairly decent kind of like scan from where I was when I was up on the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't have any. How about this? We call in a Valkyrie with 10 of the stormtroopers and some supplies.
Smart.
No, actually, we call down a Valkyrie with 5 of the stormtroopers and a bunch of supplies. We have some supplies here for ourselves. Valkyrie lands with us. We unload some of the supplies here and leave the stormtroopers here to kind of like set up a forward position. Me and Lothar will fly back to the Skystarers Scriptorium.
Ooh.
Deliver the other supplies because their supply line's going to be running fairly low, seeing as we just told they've now got an extra 14 kids and 2 adults, and then like 35 just like full-grown fucking adults that have just turned up that we told them to turn up there. So we might as well give them some food supplies and stuff like that, kind of arm who we can, tell them to meet us up towards Fuat's Hold.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
You know who I think in a weird way with this too, so that we don't necessarily have to fly back? Well, one of us could. But who I think we might even benefit from here is Orphamuel. No, I'm thinking Orphamuel. We have a whole bunch of religious folks sitting in one spot there waiting for a Skyfallen to come by, and what better orator than him to come by and inspire them to war, like he's done at least 2 other times.
Okay, that's a cool idea. So we can off camera send Orphamuel and DM can talk to Orphamuel about.
We can get that fucking on camera. I can get a recording.
Yeah,
hell yes.
Awesome. I'll see what I can do.
But I think that might be the possible ticket, because personally, I think that when Orphamuel is able to rejoin with us, he should be able to do so with Flight of the Valkyries playing while he's on a Valkyrie.
Absolutely.
And shooting things.
Yeah. So the plan is then basically rally the desert, strike at Fuat's Hold, bust out your boy.
Absolutely.
Prison Break episode.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well then.
Prison Break episode. See if we can't get some of the stormtroopers in with some sharpshooters of their own.
Cool. So are you aiming to do like a sneak in like you did with Quartz Crossing, or just trying to take out that flak tank and go loud? I mean, it can't shoot down everything.
No,
we throw enough bodies. But also, Hydra flak tanks are also very good at pointing towards mass infantry and unloading and shooting the fuck out of them.
That is also true, yes.
Right. Go ahead.
No, please, Lothar, please.
Please, I hate it when you guys do this. It's awful to listen to.
See, that's what I'm saying. How easily can we get to it?
You could potentially try and do a very daring climbing, like a very daring climb down into Fuat's Hold, which, if you're not spotted, you could land pretty fucking close to that flak tank. Alternatively, shell the shit out of it, hope that you've got long-range missiles that can deal with it.
I think at that point, we can try and. I like the idea of shock and awe in a way, right? Of we continuously shell them. We hit our hardest stuff on that Hydra because
So the things you have the Avenger, which is the Warthog. You've got 2 air superiority fighters, which also are configured for ground attack with an autocannon each, 2 las cannons, 2 Hellstrike missiles, which are high explosive, and you've also got Hell Fury, which are incendiary / white phosphorus. You've then got 2 Valkyries, and obviously the platoon of 20 stormtroopers. You've also got pretty much all of the people of the desert here, who you have, established fantastic relations with.
Yeah.
I think yes, and if we're gonna do this along the way, right? Like we're gonna have our family do whatever. Ishwala still has some people there too, right?
It does have a few people, yeah. They have not
God, I
come to
wonder if we could
Sky
pick them
Stairs.
up on the way.
Mhm.
Maybe
See
that's
if
how we do this.
Orthamul can do the rounds. Ishwala didn't seem to have as many issues with the blades as everyone else did.
We tell them we're gonna kill them.
So, fair enough.
Yeah, through sense of strength.
We also need to go pick up Yurt.
You want?
I want him on like a dirt bike, just coming in. It's Yurtin time, yeah.
Love it. So as the flames die down on the Centaur and you consider your plans, I think we should stop there for this evening. Very, very exciting stuff.